In this video, I've got an update for you on my affiliate marketing website, bestroofbox.com. And in fact, this is going to be the last update on bestroofbox.com because I've sold the website. Woo! So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you loads of stuff. I'm going to be sharing with you the earnings for last month. I'm going to be sharing with you the entire earnings for the site. I'm also going to be sharing with you the expenses, how much money I spent on the site and what I spent it on. And of course, I'm going to share with you how much I sold the website for and the process that was involved with that sale. But before we get into all the facts and figures, I just want to really share with you how I'm feeling about the whole thing, because it's been quite a journey. And if you've been a regular on the channel, if you've been following along with the Best Roof Box playlist, which by the way, I'll put a link up to now, it's got all the videos around the website, covering everything that I did to the site, including how I made it. And yeah, if you've been following along with those videos, it's been a journey. It's been a journey of over 2 years. It's had its ups and downs, and wow, yeah, I've learned a lot from it. I created the website back in March 2019, so just over 2 years ago now. And my goal for the site was to basically just create it and work on it and share everything about the site with you guys on this channel. Now, I've never claimed to be an affiliate marketing expert. I mean, it's something I do and I earn a good income from it. But creating a complete niche website and, building it up to sell was something that I'd never done before. So I was learning a lot of it as I was going along. And I've got to say, it's been a roller coaster. It's had some great ups and downs. We've had some good months in terms of earnings. We've had some bad months in terms of earnings. We've been hit by Google updates. I've been getting various comments on YouTube and on Reddit, like this one, which I've got to say kind of knocked my confidence quite a bit. People were saying he doesn't know what he's doing. The website's not very good. But of course, equally, I had support from a lot of you guys saying that you love the website and you love my updates. So yeah, it's been an emotional roller coaster, but I kept on working on the site, kept on ploughing on. And we're now at this point where I've sold the website. Now I'll get into the details on the sale a bit later on in this video, but in terms of how I'm feeling about it all, well, I feel like I've sold the website a little bit too early, but there is a reason for that. And that reason is that I needed the money because we're looking to move house pretty soon. And yeah, I need a big chunk of money to help me do that. So the obvious thing to do was to sell the site. But you'll see when we look at last month's earnings that the site is on an upward trajectory. It's going up. Let's just say that. So, probably given a few more months, the earnings would have continued to increase and the site would have been worth a lot more. But hey, I need the money right now, so I had to sell it. So let's jump into this video. I'm going to share with you all the facts and figures and a few stories about the website as we go along. Hello, it's Alex here. Hope you're all well. So in traditional fashion, let's start with last month's figures and let's take a look at analytics to start with. I'll put it up now. So in May, we had 33,637 users, which is up 21%. We had 47,674 page views, which is up 20%. And if we take a look at organic traffic, we can see that that is up to 31,375 users, which is up 21%. So yeah, as I mentioned in the intro, the site is definitely on an upward trajectory. I'm going to try and say that word properly this time. But of course, we're going into summer. The site is quite seasonal and, we're heading into the busiest period in terms of roof box sales. Let's take a look at the earnings. Now, these earnings are cut short slightly because I transferred the website to the new owner at the end of May. So yeah, obviously they switched over to their Amazon account and my earnings fell away. But still, even with those few days missing, if we take a look, see that Amazon.com had a fantastic month, bringing in $2,338 in commission. If we take a look at Amazon.co.uk, bought in £74.05, which is about 105 US dollars. And if we take a look at Amazon Canada, you can see that it bought in $378.27. That's Canadian dollars. So if we convert that, it's around 313 US dollars. Let's add all of those together and we get a grand total for Amazon in May of $2,755.99, which, yeah, not too shabby. Let's take a look at the Ezoic earnings. Now, I should say that the new owner has removed Ezoic, and in fact, that was removed about halfway through May. So obviously that's affected the earnings, but let's take a look. And we can see that Ezoic pulled in $156.63, and that's for about half of the month. If we add those two figures together, we get a grand total for May, and in fact the last grand total I'm going to share with you, and well, it's a big one. It's $2,912.62, which, yeah, is amazing. So let's go into the details in terms of what I did over the entire life of the site. So yeah, started back in 2019. I created the site and then I started adding content to it. I should say the majority of the content was written by various writers and various writing services. I think I maybe wrote 1 or 2 articles myself, but yeah, most of the content was outsourced. I've shared with you many a times on how I did the keyword research and just research in general around that content. It was mainly using Google and the kind of suggest part of Google. I've got loads of videos on all that stuff. I'll put links to those in the description. In terms of link building, I did a bit of Pinterest myself, basically just pinning the pins from the various articles. And the rest, again, I outsourced it to various different companies like The Hoff, and Stan Ventures did a little bit as well. And Niche Website Builders have also been doing some link building. I did a full video on what they've been doing quite recently. Again, you'll find links to all the videos that I talk about in the description. A few other things that I got outsourced was some videos that I had created by The Hoff that weren't particularly good, but they have been getting a few views on YouTube. Do you remember those? The actor just looked like he wanted to die, didn't he? Like went to Hollywood to do some cool stuff and he ended up doing Roofbox videos. But hey, I had to try it out, and yeah, as I say, the videos have been getting a few views on YouTube. So after 2 years and about 2 months, the site ended up having 287 bits of content on there. Some were quite long. A lot of it was quite short because it was around all the different car models. And I was using things like AAWP to create that content and then just filling it out using other tools like Conversion AI. Got to say that content did actually do pretty well and started bringing in quite a bit of traffic. The site actually goes against a few bits of advice that I've had from various gurus regarding setting up a niche website, or indeed a niche website. The first is that it uses a page builder. It uses Elementor, which I thought was really good because, you know, I could create some great looking bits of content. But yeah, it's generally a no-no in terms of site speed. Page builders can slow your site down, but it doesn't seem to have affected this site. It still ranks really well and it's still pretty fast. And yeah, I really like Elementor and I think it's a great way to create some good looking content. The second thing is it's not a branded website. It uses a kind of exact match domain where I'm trying to, you know, match up with the keyword best roof box. That's why I went for bestroofbox.com. Again, a lot of gurus would say that's probably not a good idea. You should just go for a, you know, branded sort of term like, I don't know, roof box expert or something like that. But it seems to have worked pretty well for me. And indeed, the site ranks pretty well for the keyword best roof box, which gets quite a lot of searches every single month. Third thing that the gurus would say that you shouldn't do is focus a lot of your content on products. And I've got to say that maybe 85% of the content is product focus. It's about, you know, the best X for Y, talks about products, lots of affiliate links. And again, that content has worked really well for me. I mean, the informational content does bring in a bit of traffic, but in terms of what's driving the actual sales on Amazon, it's definitely that product focused content. Indeed, the recent product review update from Google hasn't affected the traffic. And as you've just seen, traffic continues to grow. So yeah, the content must be pretty good, even though, you know, I've never reviewed a roof box properly in my life because I couldn't just go and buy a load of different roof boxes and a whole load of different cars and try them all out. So all of the content has been produced using research that was conducted online by either myself or my writers. Final thing I just want to say on the site is it is a bit seasonal, or in fact it's very seasonal. The majority of income comes in during the summer. It does okay in the winter. But yeah, it's just something to be aware of, I think, when you're planning a niche website. Check on Google Trends or whatever and find out how seasonal the actual niche is going to be. I mean, it's not a big deal. You can obviously plan around it, have a couple of different websites with different seasonality, and then you're going to have a kind of regular income throughout the year. But yeah, something I've learned and something that I didn't really consider when I jumped into the niche. Anyway, let's jump into the figures. So I sold the website for, let's have a drum roll, $70,000, which I was pretty pleased with. So in terms of how I got the sale all arranged, I didn't use a broker like Empire Flippers or Flipper.com, mainly because I didn't want to pay the fees that these guys charge. So what I did is I reached out through my network, through people I know, through YouTube and just in general, just put the word out that I was looking to sell the site. And it didn't take too long for friend of the channel and indeed live stream guest, Miles Beckler, to introduce me to one of his contacts who he thought might be interested. So he put us in touch. We had a few calls via Zoom or whatever, and I shared obviously all the details of the site. And yeah, didn't take very long for him to say that he was very interested and he wanted to go ahead and make the purchase. We did all the financial stuff via escrow. Obviously there was a fee involved with that. We split it 50-50. I think it came in around $350, something like that, maybe a little bit more. And yeah, the process was pretty smooth. Basically, escrow tell you what you need to do. He put the money into escrow. I transferred the site across. He said he was happy. I said I was happy. And then, yeah, the money was released and transferred into my bank account. So yeah, it was all pretty straightforward. The buyer have said they want to remain anonymous, so they will keep me up to date with the progress of the site, which is nice. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's start with how much I've spent on the site over its lifespan. And that total is $12,539, which sounds like quite a lot. But if you spread it over 2 years, it's not a huge investment. So the bulk of that money went on content, on paying writers, that kind of thing. And the total spent on content is $7,565, so $7,565. And yeah, I used a whole range of different writers, basically until I found a few that were delivering the kind of content that I wanted. In the beginning, I used to add that content to the website myself, do all the editing and create the graphics, that kind of stuff. But it got to a point where I just couldn't find the time to do that. And I had content coming in from writers and I wasn't adding it to the site quick enough. So I took on an editor to help me with that. And they basically did all the editing, added it to the site, created the graphics, created the AAWP tables. And yeah, basically got the content up really quick. And well, that cost a few quid as well. I ended up spending a total of $2,352 on editing services. The final main expense was on link building. I spent $1,956 with the Hoff, and they did some guest posts for me. Do you remember I spent $500 on one link? Wow. I guess that link paid off in the end. But yeah, that was the kind of last chunk of money. It was on link building. Now, of course, there has been a bit of other link building recently, which I haven't had to pay for because it's from companies that wanted basically a case study out of it. And that was from Niche Website Builders and Stan Ventures. Again, you'll find links to those videos on that stuff in the description. Finally, there are a few other little expenses, things like hosting, domain names. Also, when I checked out the Keyword Care service from Carl, and they all add up to around $500 for the lifespan of the site. So yeah, just to remind you, the exact figure on the expenses is $12,359. But how much revenue did that expense bring in? Let's take a look. So the total income from the website, and this obviously comes from Amazon, the three different Amazons, amazon.com, .co.uk and .ca, and of course Ezoic and AdSense, because we had AdSense in the beginning. Total income from all those things is $21,569. So let's take away the expenses from that income. That gives us a total profit on the site over its lifespan of $9,209, which is pretty good. And seeing as I haven't spent anything on the site over the last few months, the kind of bulk of the profit is kind of coming in right now and probably going to come in the future. Shame it's not my site anymore. So let's add that profit onto the sale price to give us the grand finale of a total. And that grand total is $79,209, which kind of blows me away. So that brings us to the end of our Best Roof Box adventure. I hope you found it useful and inspirational. If you've been following along with the monthly updates, thank you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all your kind comments. And yeah, just thanks. I hope that your projects are doing well as well, and you're achieving some kind of success, hopefully to the kind of levels that I've managed to do. So going forward, I've got a few other projects on the go. As you probably know, I've got bestpressurewasher.com, I've got Wheel Along, I've got Knowledgeable Mind, I've got a few other ideas in the pipeline as well. I'm definitely going to create some more niche websites and, take what I've learned from Best Roof Box. And hopefully, the next website that I make, I can sell it for 200,000. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to keep trying. I'd love to hear from you. Why not leave me a comment below? I do read all the comments that I get, and I'll try to reply to as many as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful in any way, please click the like button. And to make sure you don't miss out on any future videos or any future live streams, make sure you're subscribed. Just click that button below and make sure you click the bell. But until next time, good luck with your sites. Bye for now.